Should we get into some nerdy newsy network?
I think we should, because it's been quite a juicy week.
It has. It has. It has. It has. Right. Starting off with something I was very excited for, and now I'm very not excited for. Rebel Moon. So this was Zack Snyder's Star Wars film
R-rated.
that
pitch.
Lucasfilm said no to. So he
Mhm.
pitched it after some changes, pitched it to Netflix, and they went, "Yep, here's your money, go make it."
Yep.
And it's supposed to be, like you said, it's an R-rated Star Wars film. It's going to be class.
Mhm.
So the PG-13 cut of it is released.
Which is like, okay, why?
Yeah. So we've already been told by Zack Snyder and Netflix that this isn't the true version of the film yet. This is a PG-13 cut, which apparently just kind of cuts out anything that stops it being PG-13 instead of being edited differently.
That's so
Which begs the question, why watch it and why release it? If you're not going to actually do a PG-13 cut and instead you're going to go, right, if this is left in, can it be PG-13? No, right, out it comes. Which is literally what it sounds like they've done.
Yeah, I don't get why the PG-13 cut. Like, I don't really. My thought is maybe Netflix suggested it because obviously R-rated. Maybe it adds in extra steps to getting it approved and different things. With all the what we know is going to be a lack of content over the next year, they're like, we release a PG-13 cut. Don't have to worry about, is this approved? Is this like R-rated? Because it's probably a longer process to get the rating if it's going to be R-rated.
Maybe.
They release a PG-13, then it allows them to release an R-rated 6 months down the line, and they're like, another influx of pulling people back into Netflix, but they've just done it in like a cheap way.
Yeah, I really, really don't get it. It seems like a really weird business decision.
It's like they've wanted what the Star Wars franchise has, where it like entices kids. Like every kid wants to be like a Jedi, or Sith. Kids love Star Wars. But obviously, that wouldn't be the case if Star Wars was R-rated. And it's like he wants that to try and build this IP, and there's going to be like kids want to be part of Rebel Moon, but it's like if it was an R-rated film, they wouldn't be allowed to watch it, so that wouldn't happen. It's like he's trying to make the film he wants to make, which is like an R-rated Star Wars, but also have the Star Wars audience, which is a lot of kids. And it's like you can't have both.
I'm going to give Zack Snyder an out here because you know he answers to me all the time.
Oh yeah. Come on speed dial, yeah.
I don't think it was his decision to make a PG-13.
Probably not. It's probably Netflix. I don't
think he really had any say in that, especially the way he's talking about it in the press. He's not slagging it, but he's being very clear that it's not the true version. I think that is his way of kind of undermining it and going, just wait for mine.
Right, what?
But if I question have to hear the words Zack Snyder director cut ever again,
this is the thing.
I'm gonna blow up.
Like, what does this say about him as a director if he never gets his cut released? Like, there's something going on there. Like, why is he never get to have his say on what his cut is? Either he's not respected, or like he's making the worst business decisions.
Snyder cultists might be the worst people on Twitter, bar racists and paedophiles, and some of them are both. And I think that's starting to hurt him because Netflix clearly wanted a PG-13 film. He clearly wanted an R-rated film. He's made his R-rated film, and they've gone, no, we're going to make it PG-13. Right. Well, everyone's going to be on Twitter demanding you release the Schneider cut again. And you saw how that went before.
I was just going to say Netflix is doing this purely for marketing. They
Yeah.
they probably don't give a shit about the PG-13 cut. They've just done it so that they know the fandom's going to be like, release the Snyder cut, so then they can do a double dip.
Well, this is the thing we need to discuss. So, on Rotten Tomato,
Mm-hmm.
the reviews for Rebel Moon have not been good.
Well, yeah.
They have been actively horrific. But it's interesting because they're 24% currently after 86 critic reviews. That is pants.
Mm.
But the audience score is 72%, which still isn't very good. It was, however, before the film had come out to the public, up at 86%.
Yeah.
And all of the people reviewing it only had a review for this film on their Rotten Moon account,
Rotten
which
Moon.
is a little bit, yeah, Rotten Tomato account, which is a bit suspicious if you ask me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Why I pray tell is a film that's not out to the general public yet got an audience score, and why is it so high from a bunch of accounts that only have one rating on them? I don't know if that's common. Maybe I've just been baited by someone who wants me to think there's something suspicious going on here. But I feel
don't
like
know.
most people who create a Rotten Tomato account don't do it for a film that's not out yet, and they don't write their first ever review for a film that's only just coming out.
If it was like a film that was if this was like Oppenheimer, I'd be like, doesn't surprise me. People are blown away. They want to do a review. They're like, I have to find, like, I need to do my first review. Get it? For a Zack Snyder film, who we know the fandom is crazy, like just wild. They're just wild people.
Yeah.
It gets bad critic reviews. To then get loads of like audience reviews of just people that have reviewed nothing but this film, to almost be like, try and be like, look, the audience score's higher than the critic one, so the critics are wrong. It's just weird. Like, I would be interested to know if it would have got all those reviews had the critic score been good.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I probably will say I'm not going to watch this till there's an R-rated cut.
I'm going to hold out for the hot R-rated cut
Mm.
and hope it can live up to the fun I was hoping from. But
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I don't expect it to be a storytelling masterpiece, but I want it to be fun and enjoyable.
Yeah. Hopefully the R-rated cut is a better coherent story.
Uh-huh.
Um,
But it's not looking good for Rebel Moon. The other thing we got late last week, Saturday, was a Echo teaser
yeah, a few
with
more
even more
shots.
action.
This is true.
Sorry, I'm doing that thing again where I start to buy into the Marvel hype a bit too much. It looks fucking good.
Loki's turned you back, and they've
Yeah,
got you hooked back in.
that they bought a bit of goodwill with Loki, and then they dropped these Echo teasers that look fucking
Some good
class.
fight scenes.
And it's Echo, and it's Kingpin, and it's Daredevil.
I
They're
have
making
to
me believe, Hori.
say, the fight scenes, not like exact feel of like Daredevil, but like has an air to that Daredevil feel.
The shots they were showing it, the way they were filming it, gave the punches weight.
Yeah.
Like it, from what we could see, and obviously it's very heavily edited to be a teaser trailer, so we don't know.
Well, yeah.
But the way they're moving the camera, they're keeping it in one shot, which is always better for action sequences, and is a telltale sign of how good the action is. But the shots they're doing give the punches and the kicks weight, and
Yeah.
it makes it feel heavy. And I'm hoping that they haven't just hit us with the best shots of that, and that is just how the entire thing's been filmed.
Well, I mean, I'd like to believe it's not just a bait and switch. But
I really hope so.
I think I'm pretty confident that it will be filmed well and like the action sequences will be good and have that feel we want. My worry will be the pacing.
Yeah.
Because so far they've only
But
done it well once.
it is the start of the Marvel spotlight.
Yep, it is.
So hopefully they've chosen
Start
this
of
to be the start because they think they've got this worked out now.
Yep. Hopefully.
And that's like January 9th, January 10th.
Something like that, yeah.
And we're getting all the episodes on one day, and I'm pretty sure that's a Thursday. So that'll be fun. We'll have to work out how many episodes we're watching before the podcast that night.
All of them.
Some of us have a job where we're not in the house horizontal. You want me to watch 7 hours of
Sounds
content between 5 and
sounds
8?
like a skill issue.
Now this is a really interesting one, which has divided a lot of people, but I'm not sure.
Mm.
The DCU's Arkham show,
Mm-hmm.
according to James Gunn, is also being produced by Matt Reeves.
Yes.
So I saw a screenshot of this interaction on what's Instagram's Twitter?
Oh, Threads.
Threads, thank you. And the screenshot from Threads was of James Gunn saying, "Yeah, we love him doing the Batman, so we want him to help us with any Batman stuff inside the DCU." To which a lot of people have gone, "This is fucking dumb. Let him do the Batman, or just bring the Batman in the DCU. Don't ask him to do the same thing in two places, because then what's the point of it being in two places?" Which I do kind of get. If you want the exact same tone, because he's doing such a good job, why not just fold it in? I think he's
don't
just going to be there as like a consultant. I don't think
I
he's gonna
don't
have that
think
big a
it's
role.
the same tone. I think we know from when the Batman came out and all the like roundtable interviews and different things he was doing discussing it. He just loves the Batman. Like he just loves Batman. Always has been a fan. When he got the chance to work on the film, like he was thrilled and he wanted to put his take on it. That doesn't stop him being a fan of Batman and knowing what Batman can be in all the different comic styles and all the different things. Like I think people are thinking this is because James Gunn wants his tone of the Batman, but it's probably Matt Reeves being like, "Oh, you're doing more Batman stuff? Can I love the Batman. I did a great Batman film. I know what I'm doing with Batman. Can I help?"
Do you know
And
what I
James
think
Gunn's
it
like,
is?
"Yeah,
I think in a time where everyone working in superhero films is scared about the longevity of them, James Gunn wants someone who is unequivocally got goodwill from Batman fans right now. Name on another Batman project.
yeah." And I
Because
think,
there are going to be a lot of people who aren't sold on James Gunn
yeah,
that see that Matt Reeves is working on this and they go, "Right, I'll give it a chance."
I can see Matt Reeves doing a completely new, another style of like tone of Batman for the Arkham show that leans into what James Gunn wants for the DCU's Batman.
Yeah, 100%.
And people are going to be like, Matt Reeves is that guy for Batman.
Yeah.
The fans are going to fall in love with it. Like anything that's Batman, they'll be like, Matt Reeves needs to touch this. He
Yeah.
knows what he's doing.
100%. 100%. But I do get the concern from people, kind of like, well,
Yeah,
why would you have the same guy doing two different things in two different places? Just do it all in one place, which I think is a valid point. But I don't think he's hiring him to write and direct the Arkham show. He just wants him to consult on it and help produce it. It's very, very different.
I think people also underestimate maybe how much Matt Reeves likes Batman and just wants to
Yeah.
touch everything Batman. Like George Clooney.
Rumors are mounting that we're going to get our first Deadpool 3 trailer during the Super Bowl.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yes. So, for those who are uninitiated, the Super Bowl is the second Sunday of February.
Imagine if the trailer is them watching like American football in the mansion. Like just a bunch of X-Men characters on a couch
Be
watching
interesting.
American football. That is their
But
Super Bowl.
here's the problem.
Go on.
Deadpool and Wolverine are both Canadian.
Yeah, they'll
So
probably just be like,
if they are doing that, it's just going to be to laugh at Americans.
Yeah, but or is it some of the other X-Men trying to explain the Super Bowl to them?
Maybe, maybe. Um, but yeah, so that's the current rumor. Which, to be fair, February for a film that's due out in July, cutting it a bit close.
Yeah, but Super Bowl also known for a lot of
Yes.
trailers.
Oh yeah. It is
So,
trailer central. It's always a busy week after the Super Bowl. I will be watching the Super Bowl as I have for the last number of years. I'm hoping the 49ers will be there to make it worth watching this year. Let's go.
I don't know if
Um,
the Ravens are still doing well this year.
yeah, no, they are. The
Oh, okay.
Ravens and the 49ers are actually playing Boxing Day morning for us, Christmas Day evening for the
Oh, well,
Americans.
let's go Ravens.
And it is being touted as the Super Bowl preview because it is expected to be the Super Bowl matchup.
Okay.
Um, right, on to some much more serious news.
Yes.
So, back in March, we reported that Jonathan Majors had been arrested. There was a lot of
Mhm.
news up in the air about what had happened after an altercation with his girlfriend. No one really knew what was happening. Um, Not long after, apparently, she'd recounted her statement and she'd been arrested for assaulting him. And there was lots of back and
Yeah.
forth, at which point we just decided we will stop talking about it and wait for there to actually be an outcome before we
Yeah.
address it
The
again.
only stuff we kind of discussed was what we think Marvel might do
Yes.
going forward.
Um, and this week, there was finally a verdict in Jonathan Major's trial,
Yeah.
in which he was found guilty on 2 counts and not guilty in 2 counts. What he was found guilty of were guilty of assault in the third degree and harassment. I think officially it was non-criminal harassment, but I don't know what that means. I don't know the law, and I definitely don't know American law that
No.
well. But I'm pretty sure he was found guilty of non-criminal harassment, but I don't know what that entails. Um, Shortly after this verdict was announced,
Hmm.
um, it was announced that Marvel had fired him.
Yeah.
It's um, I have nothing to say about the criminal case itself.
No.
There's like we don't have anything to say. It went to court. He was found guilty. That's it.
Yeah. The
Like
verdict's been made. Like,
it's not our country for starters. We're British, not American.
yeah. And we're not
And
lawyers, so
yeah, we're not going to start commenting on another country's law. We have no idea how any of that stuff works. If you don't trust your legal system, do something to help it get better. And if you do trust the legal system, well done. They won one, I guess.
as for the
The
Marvel
real
news,
conversation for us,
mm,
because there's nothing to comment on the other stuff, is the big discussion right now is should Marvel recast or scrap Kang altogether? And to add fuel to that fire, there are rumors suggesting Kang Dynasty is now internally being referred to as Avengers 5.
well, so there's different parts. So the Marvel firing him, I imagine there was a clause in his contract for that essentially just automatically that is what happened. And Marvel,
The
like as soon as this was official verdict was made, boom, okay, your contract's terminated. Like that's that. There's
the
no
the
ifs, buts, and
yeah, the thing we need to remember is what Marvel actors
yep,
in their contracts are Disney actors.
yep.
So the question
There's
you
a
need to ask
certain
yourself is
standard.
Disney going to have an actor who's just been charged of assault, found guilty of assault? No, it's not going to happen.
No.
So, I mean, that wasn't really a surprise to anyone, I don't think.
As for like Kang Dynasty being referred, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it's already internally been referred to Avengers 5 for a long time
Yeah,
before they even
that's
called it Kang Dynasty, and it's just like, oh, they're calling it Avengers 5. It's like, no, they just always have. You're just hearing it again. Like,
yeah. Um,
that's as for
so
recasting.
I think this is ironically going to be looked back on as a big decision. I don't think it actually affects anything, but it's a big decision about a discussion we've heard a lot over the last 2 or 3 years about are movie stars a dying breed?
Yeah,
Because for a long time, the discussion has been when was the last actual movie star we had? The movie stars aren't a thing anymore. Now it's the characters that are the superstars, blah, 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 blah.
yeah,
And then because the characters are the superstars, what you get is you get people falling in love with the actor for the role, and then they just think of that actor in the role, like Robert Downey Jr. with Iron Man, Chris Evans with Captain America, etc., etc. Hugh Jackman with Wolverine. Anytime you mention someone else doing that role, everyone's like, "Oh no, but they won't do it as well."
Yeah.
It's actually a big problem. In fact, I'm starting to think the only beloved character that can get away with ever casting a new actor is the Doctor, because it's built into the show. And even then,
Yeah.
that doesn't always go smoothly because of just
He's
sexists
got
and
a weird
racists.
screwdriver.
So I think they need to just recast. If you cannot recast Kang, you're never going to be able to recast anyone ever again. And when these actors are too old to do the job, you're done. Kang is the most recastable character. His
that's the
entire
thing.
thing is being a variant.
I would say Kang, right now, we've had a few appearances of Kang in different versions. Yes, obviously we had the Council of Kang scene, but like that's neither here nor there.
Pull a Who Shot First and just go back and edit the digital version so that it's got different faces all over the gap.
Like, we're early enough in, like, if this was, we've had the Kang Dynasty film, Secret Wars is about to come out, and Kang is still rocking, like, at that point, gets kind of awkward to recast because it's like, there's been so many, like, pivotal moments of him in that. It's still very early in the role. You could very easily swap it, and by the time we're at Secret Wars, people will have forgot, just like they forget that there's a different Rhodey in Iron Man 1 sometimes. Like, Marvel is not afraid to recast. And you, unfortunately, will probably get left in the dust, whoever played the role previously, because people will remember the end, not the start.
Exactly.
And
they
like,
recast Thanos, let's not forget, and the Hulk,
yeah,
and Rhodey, and Cassie Lang. They've done it. They will do it again in the future. If you cannot recast Kang, you cannot recast anyone, and we're stuck with whatever actor gets cast first for the rest of the time.
and to the people that are like, oh, scrap Kang, go to Doctor Doom, it's like, you realize if they just do that, like, you've already complained about film, like the Marvel fans have already complained that films aren't feeling connected. There's no, like, the story's like mid. It's like, meh. It's like, oh, so we're just going to pivot to Doctor Doom as suddenly the main bad out of nowhere with no setup, no lead. Like, you're just going to cry more.
We've not even got the Fantastic Four yet.
Yeah. Like,
and
what
you want Doom to come in and be the big bad of the whole universe. Come on.
It's, yeah. I think they recast. There's no question. I think there's plenty of great actors that will do Kang justice and that can visually be not too much of a leap.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, the rumor is already that Ryan Gosling's in talks with Marvel about an unknown role. Is he going to be our new Kang? So, for those who don't know,
he's Knuff.
There's been a long-running meme. It started off with racists being dumb, and then it got turned into just a funny meme. So, around the time they were talking about how like white characters were being stolen and made black, people started mocking up pictures of Black Panther with Ryan Gosling's face.
Yep.
And going, how would black people feel if we did this to them? And of course, it's a dumb point because Black Panther like needs to be black for like an actual story reason,
for heritage reasons.
Yeah, exactly. But that was always their joke, and then it just got stolen to be a meme. So then, when the Kang news leaked, when the Jonathan Majors being fired happened, and then Ryan Gosling in talks with Marvel about an unknown role leaked around the same time, everyone collectively started using that meme and going, "Oh my god, it's finally happening!"
Honestly, the internet is a wild place.
Yeah, it's going to be quiet for a while. There are lots of really, really good options. What I will say is, if we cast our minds back not too long ago, this happened in March. And at the time, everyone thought he was going to get fired on the spot.
Yep.
People at that moment in time were calling for the actor whose name I forget who played the High Evolutionary to take over the role of Kang. They were like, just make him a Kang
Yes.
variant and make him the lead actor.
Yeah.
And then people are already back at it. They're like, we told you what to do, just do it.
There's
lots of talented actors. Go find one. You'll be fine.
Yeah. And there's a lot of ways that they can twist it if it's someone that's already in the MCU and be like, yeah, it was a Kang variant. Like,
Said just pull a Who Shot First, like they did with the Star Wars digital versions. Go back to the Council of Kangs.
Yeah, for stuff like that, they can go back and anything that's like a digital face replacement, like they can just
go back, change a load of their faces, just random faces.
You'll go, we'll watch it on Disney Plus in like 10 years and it'll be completely different acts. And we're like, I swear this was the one that had Jonathan Major.
What you can do is you can go back and you can just make basically all of the ones in the arena random face and just be like, oh, well, of course there are going to be some that look the same, but there's also, look at how many different faces there are. It's not a big problem. Like, yeah, cool, whatever. And also it gives them a free cop-out of everyone complaining that the one from Quantumania was weak. They're like, well, that wasn't the ultimate Kang, obviously. Look, this is a different Kang. He's much stronger.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, so easy. Now, about a year ago, we uploaded our most successful video ever. And it was talking about 40K.
It was.
And I'm here
sure
with
that's why it did so well.
Yeah. A year later, Henry Cavill's 40K universe is reportedly now properly rolling at Amazon. They've got a deal fully locked in and ready to go, and they're starting pre-production on whatever. So yeah, there you go. That's your update. We'll talk to you next year when they've got script.
I'm so excited. So ready.
You know me, I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, I mean, though I'm not huge into all the lore of 40K and stuff, I've played some of the games, never got the figures, but like 40K is a lore and the world. Very interesting, very cool, can be a very, very good film or show or whatever they want to do.
I think the beauty of it is you kind of like know a fair bit about the lore already, so you'll be able to watch it and know what's going on. If I try and watch it and I'm completely lost, it's a bad show. Because what's the point of doing a 40K show if it's just for the people who already love it and you're not trying to get any new fans? You need to find a way to explain the lore to the people who are coming in.
They will explain it, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, that'll be the first big test for them. If I'm sitting here going, the fuck is a space marine? They fucked it. Because I already know what a space marine is. So if I'm asking that question, they've really fucked it.
They are.
We also have the Disney 2024 slate.
Yes.
I've got rid of anything not related to us. Because we don't care about stuff not related to us. So this is strictly Marvel and Star Wars, I believe. No, there is one thing that's not. Echo, January 10th.
Yes.
Entire series dropping on January 10th.
Yep.
Then we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, May 24th. I put that in because I know we both said we were interested in watching it, so I assume it would end up on here.
Yeah.
Deadpool 3, July 26th. Agatha's TV show, which I still don't think has a final name, which is a little bit concerning. Fall 2024.
Okay.
Then the following have no date attached to them yet, other than being expected to release in 2024.
Yep.
Eyes of Wakanda. Don't know what that is.
No.
The Acolyte, which is a Star Wars show.
Yep.
Which we are both very excited for. The Bad Batch Season 3, which I'm pretty sure has also been confirmed to be the last season of the Bad Batch.
I think it is, yeah.
Skeleton Crew, another Star Wars show we're both quite excited for. Tales of the Jedi Season 2, which I am very excited for.
Yes, I am.
X-Men 97, which Hori's very excited because his age is in the title.
Dude, if I look this good for 97, I am going to be fucking happy.
You should see him on Christmas Eve chat when the beard goes all white and gets bigger and he puts on all the weight.
Why can it not just be like, I am jacked, but it's like a fat suit? That's how he moves so quick. He looks like he shouldn't be able to.
A couple 100 years ago, Santa got tired of being fat, so he got jacked, but he didn't want to lose the jolliness, so just wears a fat suit over being jacked.
It's how he just like squeezes into places and he's just so yoked.
And then also we'll be getting the animated Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show in
Yes.
2024. So while we're
Also,
getting one Marvel film all year, and by the looks of it, no Star Wars films, looks like we're eating good on TV.
we are.
Which, bearing in mind, I'm hoping to have a house, not having to go to the cinema 3 times a month, probably not going to hurt.
No, but those streaming services might.
Yeah, they're already baked into the budget.
True.
That's fine.
True.
We're not worried about that. And I mean, if in doubt, yo ho.
I mean,
But yeah,
I'm very excited for all the Star Wars.
let's
Very
be honest
excited.
though. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 projects that
Mhm.
have no date,
Yes.
how many of them get pushed to 2025?
I reckon we only get. I'll be surprised if we get both the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. I think we'll get both Bad Batch and Tales of Jedi because Tales of Jedi is a small thing. Echo and Agatha, I think will happen, no problem. One of the animated ones is going to get
So
pushed.
Eyes of Wakanda is apparently animated.
Okay.
I think that gets pushed.
Depends on what it is. Like if it's like a few little short things, then maybe not. But if it's like a full-on animated series, then maybe.
So all that I can currently see on here is that it seems to be about throughout Wakandan history, brave warriors have been tasked to travel the world retrieving dangerous vibranium artifacts.
That could be like each episode is a different time. So that could just be
Yeah.
a short thing. So that might still rock up.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But out of them 7, I won't be surprised if we only end up getting 4. I don't know what for, but I won't be surprised if we only end up getting 4.
Yeah.
I think it's very realistic to say one of the Acolyte or Skeleton Crew being 2 live action shows ends up dropping.
I'd be very surprised.
And also Agatha could very easily drop as well, bearing in mind that's a very soft full 2024. And
I
we
don't
know
know.
how hard Marvel have been hit by the strikes earlier this year.
I reckon Agatha will still come out.
Quite possibly.
I will also say not Disney, but we should also be hearing about Rings of Power. Lord of the Rings. That should be coming out in 2024.
Yeah, apparently it's set to premiere on Prime Video in 2024.
So that's also something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. What was the other thing I saw? Oh yeah, notable absence from the 2024 slate, Andor season 2.
That didn't surprise me. I think the strikes probably affected it.
Yeah. I think there was one other thing that people were a bit surprised it wasn't there.
I also would have been surprised to get the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, and Andor.
Yeah.
In 1 year. That would have been wild.
Especially that like a year after one of the biggest strikes.
Yeah, it wasn't happening.
But sure. we will see where we get to with various things next year. If not, we will just find something to waffle about. I'll get Horry reading comics or something. It'll be fine.
I'll start reading the Percy Jackson books. We'll turn into a book podcast.
Turn into a book club. The magic screen thing stopped showing us the stories. Now we have to read them with our eyes.
We'll do a read along of like The Hobbit or something.
Don't. Because knowing our luck, that's when the podcast would go in nuclear, and then we'd be stuck reading books for the rest of our
Who
YouTube
doesn't want
career.
to hear me just read through The Hobbit?
See, I like the idea of giving you the lines for characters who would like you think have like quite a high voice, and I try and do like the gnomes and the dwarves who are going to have quite deep voices. I think that'd be quite funny. Subvert expectations. Right.